My name is Mohit, and today in this Tech Talk, we're going to talk about how do we secure sensitive data while creating the applications for a digital bank. We all understand in today's world, securing sensitive data related to customers is very important. This information, when leaked out, may cause impact to the customers or the owners of the software application, the banks. All of them can get impacted if the information about them moves out. So, what is sensitive data? Sensitive data can be some information about a person or an organization that helps personally identify the person. It could be the financial information about the user. It could be authentication information by which the user can log in and get authorization or other sensitive data. PII or personally identifiable information is something which is really unique to the customer. If this information is exposed, the attacker will be able to identify what are the actions of this particular user. And this information can be used in other systems to harm or to distress the user. Some of the information that might include is the identity numbers, Aadhaar card, PAN card, contact information, phone numbers, emails, addresses. All this information comes under the PII or personally identifiable information. Also expected to be secure. The credit card numbers, the account information, the transactions, because this history will also contain the user's behavior, where the user has been investing this money. So, storing this information is very important. Authentication data like username and passwords are used to log in to certain systems. If this information is leaked out, somebody else may use this information to log in and claim to be the real user. And the systems will not be able to differentiate between the attacker and the real person. And hence, securing this information is very, very important. Apart from this, other information about the users, for example, the health information, religion preferences, gender preferences, racial information, anything else which might be used against the users should be protected. So we have discussed about what are the different types of sensitive information. Now we want to discuss how can we secure this information. Well, the most easiest way of securing the information is by not storing it. But many a times that's not a feasible solution. We need this information for providing certain offers, for providing certain accessibilities to the customers, and hence this information or data must be stored in our systems. So what do? We encrypt this information. The encryption of this information can be of two types: one-way encryption or two-way encryption. Sensitive data must never be stored in clear text. A one-way encryption is an encryption in which once the data has been encrypted, it cannot be traversed back. So, for example, passwords. There's no need to know what the real password is. So, you will do a one-way encryption and store it in your DB. And next time when the customer is coming in, you'll follow the same algorithm to create an encryption of the password and match it with the already encrypted password. If they matches, it means you can go ahead. But other types of information which you might want to display at other places, for example, passport numbers, Aadhaar number, these are two-way masks into. After encryption, the access to this information must be controlled. The information should go to the person who is authorized to see this particular information. So, in that terms, we can divide our information or storage into certain categories. For example, publicly accessible information. This information is accessible outside the world, and hence it must never contain any sensitive information about anybody. No passwords, no logging information, no customer identifiers must be shared publicly, even by mistake. Once we have the protected information, we must secure the access to the information. The right authentication and right level of authorization must be available before we share this information to the users. There are some security practices which we must follow to make sure the system that we are developing is secure. First and foremost is the left shifting of security. Traditionally, security was considered as a compliance issue, which means once the software was developed, only towards the end, when CISO came into picture, security was thought of. However, that's too late to implement security. We should make security a concern of everybody in the system while we are writing the user stories, while we are defining the requirements, while we are developing the applications. At all layers, security must be kept into mind. Early security testing helps solve issues early and prevents the leakage of these defects to the system. We must have regular audits to visualize if the libraries and the dependencies that we are using are they in the correct format or not. If the developers or the people in the system are aware about these security practices or not. Guidelines and guardrails must be issued to to the people in the system. Regular security scans and secure coding practices must be followed to ensure the system that we are developing is secure. And finally, all the accesses to the information must be logged and monitored. We must keep a track on who is accessing what data, and if there is a modification, who is making the modification. Because if by chance some leakage has happened, we should at least have the information who was able to leak the information and what was the route that the attacker came in, so that we can mitigate these issues in future. Last but not the least, important aspect of having a secure system is education of the humans. Educating the product owners, educating the developers, educating the administrators and the users of the system on how to keep themselves safe and secure for while using this system. Delivering training once is not helpful because people may forget. So, regular refresher courses and awareness notifications must be sent to ensure our system and the people of its system remain safe and secure. Keep following me for more such content.